Well, now that President Trump signed the new funding bill into law, lawmakers must negotiate a deal to fund Homeland Security within 2 weeks. Republicans say Democrat demands will make this an uphill climb. NBC's Julie Sirkin is up on the Hill with the latest.
The government shutdown is over. But the hard work is only beginning for lawmakers, working to hatch a bipartisan deal on changes to immigration enforcement in exchange for their votes to fund the Department of Homeland Security. Democrats are making at least 3 demands: an end to roving ICE patrols and warrantless arrests, and for agents to take off their masks. But not surprisingly, the two sides are far apart.
I think what we put together is a finite list of reasonable changes that mean that the ICE officials and the Border Patrol officials handled by the same standards as police in your community. Why shouldn't they?
If a deal means something that will effectively prevent ICE from doing its job, like completely changing the warrant requirements, like forcing ICE agents to be exposed so they can be doxxed, I'm not going to support that.
Negotiators, including the White House, have just 9 days to find common ground. The push for change brought on by protests in Minneapolis against the administration's immigration crackdown, especially after 2 American citizens were shot and killed by federal agents. Looking to turn down the temperature, Border Czar Tom Homan today said that hundreds of federal immigration officers will be leaving.
I have announced effective immediately we will draw down 700 people effective today. 700 law enforcement personnel.
More than 3,000 federal immigration agents swarmed Minneapolis as part of the surge.
It's not close to enough. They all have to leave now.
In an exclusive interview, NBC Nightly News anchor Tom Llamas asked President Trump about the situation in Minneapolis.
Mr. President, speaking of Minneapolis, what did you learn?
I learned that maybe we can use a little bit of a softer touch, but you still have to be tough.
And while officials work to soften tensions there, on Capitol Hill, negotiations are ramping up, a task some lawmakers call impossible, others holding out hope.
We ought to come up with a miracle once in a while around here.
In Washington, Julie Sirkin, NBC News.